The Ramaphosa Farm report will be tabled in Parliament on the 6th of December. That will be next week, Tuesday. MPs will then vote on whether to adopt its recommendations.
We have set aside the 6th of December for consideration of the report by the National Assembly. The role of the National Assembly pertaining to this report is articulated in the rules. The House will consider the report, its findings and recommendations, and adopt a resolution through a simple majority vote, whether a further action by the House is necessary or not.
Well, that report into the Ramaphosa saga is now with the National Assembly Speaker, Nosiviwe Mapisanqakula, whom you've seen there, and the Parliament will be discussing it next week, Tuesday. I'm joined now by political analyst Thansanqa Malinga, just to get a sense of what we can expect. I mean, it's all speculation at this moment. Good afternoon, Thansanqa. Welcome to today on eNCA. It's really all speculation because we don't really know actually what's going to be contained in these 3 volumes, especially around its findings and recommendations. But we'll find out. I mean, tonight, what should we be looking for in your view?
Good afternoon, Mr. Muyane. Good afternoon to the viewers. I think what we should be looking for with the report is actually what the panel is actually saying. And in light of what the president has submitted, I have read the president's submission, and it is very interesting because he deals specifically with each and every charge that the parties have laid against it, especially the ATM and the EFF. The president deals specifically with each and every charge that they have laid against him, to an extent that you look at it and think, wow, the president has actually, made his case to a point that in point 65, which I think that the people of South Africa will read it incorrectly. In point 65, that's where he makes his prayer to say, I ask that this panel looks at this matter and does not continue with this investigation and make sure and does not continue with this investigation. So you look at when you honestly read his submission, it seems like a very tight submission. So it's going to be interesting as to what the panel's recommendations will be. And also looking at what the ATM is saying and other opposition parties are saying in terms of they seem to be ready to take this matter further in terms of any outcome that they are not expecting. They're not going to be happy with it.
So from your reading, because of the president's submission, which you've had sight of, the panel is likely to find that the president has no case to answer.
Yeah, from my reading, it's going to be likely that the panel will say, no, the president did not violate the Constitution. The president, they're going to find in favor of the president.
And one of the other issues that they had to look into the panel, according to Nosiviwe Mapisanqakula a little bit earlier, when she reminded us about the mandate of that 3-person independent panel headed by former Chief Justice Sandile Ngcobo, was misconduct. So there's a question of violating the Constitution or the law or misconduct. How does the president deal with the issue of misconduct?
The president deals thoroughly with both those issues. In his submission, he first deals with those two, the issue of seriously violating the Constitution and the issues of misconduct. He first deals with those before he gets on to dealing with the charges that the parties are laying against him. He goes on to further say, the charges are defective. It is unclear whether he writes that it's unclear whether it's serious violation of the Constitution or serious misconduct. So he labels it as charges being defective. So he deals seriously with those to an extent that you would seriously see that he has put so much meat in his defense in terms of those two as outlined in the Constitution. So he has been very articulative. I need to say kudos to him and his team for their submission.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see, because also the political parties, the opposition political parties like the ATM, the African Transformation Movement, have also made their own submissions, and they believe they've provided the panel with evidence. But we don't have long to wait, you and I and millions of other South Africans, Thansanqa, because tonight, according to what we've heard, the report of the panel will be made public. Thank you very much for your time and analysis this hour. That's political analyst Thansanqa Malinga.